In this video I'm going to give an overview of what the Abortion Law Reform Association of New Zealand has been up to in the last wee while. LRANZ is really upset at the Voluntary Student Union Membership Bill, which is set to pass into law very shortly. The bill was put forward by the ACT Party and has strong support from the national government. Why is LRANZ so upset? Currently, many student unions in New Zealand have compulsory student membership and, of course, payment. This provides unions with millions in funding, and because the membership is compulsory, it leaves them with very little accountability. So then they can pump money into the groups and projects that are on the agenda of the students running the union. Now, Dr. Morgan Healy of the Abortion Law Reform Association of New Zealand, LRANZ, stated on the 1st of December, "The loss of such strong student voices will have a negative impact on the reproductive justice movement generally and could impede LRANZ's collaborative efforts with university associations." Oh, isn't that sad? And reproductive justice movement, smooth. You know what? I'm all for reproductive justice and reproductive rights. I do not wish to impede on anyone's right to reproduction. However, the natural outcome of reproduction is conception, and upon conception, a new, unique human life begins. Reproductive justice is entirely irrelevant to dealing with this new human life. LRANZ is packing a sad because they know that with VSM will come the decommissioning of the women's rights officers and of the feminist lobbies and on-campus pro-child killing groups. I couldn't care less. If their movement has public support, then why don't they just rally up their grassroots support base and... oh wait, that's right. LRANZ only has about 200 ageing members, whereas New Zealand's youth-based pro-life group, Pro-Life NZ, has started pro-life groups at 2 universities, with another one soon to be started. We've used a few brooms, but we've never received any funding. Yeah, and in other news, the New Zealand Medical Council produced a list of requirements on beliefs in medical practice. One of the points was that doctors were required to ensure patients were aware that abortion was an option, if they were concerned about their pregnancy. If they didn't want to provide the service, the doctors would be required to refer the woman's request elsewhere, for instance, a family planning association clinic. Now, a group of pro-life doctors challenged this requirement, and on the 3rd of December, the High Court of New Zealand found that the guidelines overstepped the law and needed to be amended. Right to Life is now calling for the Abortion Supervisory Committee to amend their best practice for termination of pregnancy document accordingly, because currently it states that GPs who don't want to refer a woman for an abortion must make arrangements for her to be referred elsewhere. Now, Dame Margaret Sparrow of LRANZ contests that upholding the rights of conscience of doctors was never an issue, and goes on to say that they're not obligated to commit or assist with the killing of a preborn child. Not her words, obviously, but that's the reality of it. But Sparrow was wrong. If the pro-life doctors hadn't challenged this medical practice document, then they would be obligated to arrange an appointment for the mother to visit a doctor who would advise or commit the abortion on her child. Now, as it stands, pro-life doctors may decline to pass the woman over to the child killers, but they must state that abortion is a possibility for the woman. Yeah, just to finish off, another issue which LRANZ has been involved in recently. The other day I asked our Prime Minister John Key, "What is your position on girls of any age being permitted to have an abortion without their parents' knowledge or consent? Will the national government address this?" And the Prime Minister responded, "We're not proposing any changes to the existing abortion laws in New Zealand. We do encourage parental engagement when young people are considering whether to have an abortion, because it's hugely important that support networks are available for them at that time." And this took place on an online chat with the Prime Minister, and members of the public were invited to be involved in that. Now look, you can ignore that everything after the first sentence that the Prime Minister said. It's just feel-good political fluff. John's answer is that the national government has no intention to change the law. Currently, girls of any age in New Zealand may receive an abortion without their parents' consent or notification. The Family Planning Association can go into schools, educate kids about sexuality, and encourage them to ask for an abortion if they think they need one. Whereas, if the school nurse wants to give a child a Panadol and an aspirin, the parents must first approve this. See the double standard here at all? Now, this ended up sparking international news, and LRANZ also responded by drafting up a fact sheet on the parental notification laws in New Zealand. Now, Allrans makes no attempt to justify parents being able to legally be left out of the loop in a major life decision of their daughter. Surgical abortion is a major and invasive operation. Chemical abortions can also have complications, and both usually lead to ongoing bleeding and discomfort, not to mention the psychological impact that many women, not least young girls, will experience. Instead, Allrans states, what is required is non-judgmental, caring, and responsible counselling, in which a young person is encouraged to involve her parents or other responsible adults. Responsible adults, eh? Responsible adults like the staff down at the local Family Planning Association clinic. There's 30 of them throughout New Zealand, and they're currently applying for a licence to commit chemical abortions. That's RU486. Right to Life and others are challenging this in the courts, so it's at a bit of a standstill at the moment. But surprise, surprise, Allrans is backing them up to the hilt. Oh, and did I mention that Dame Margaret Sparrow is a long-time leader of the Family Planning Association, and that she now serves as their honorary vice president? Oh, and did I mention that she's also a co-owner of iStar, the company that imports the RU486 abortion drug into New Zealand? It's probably just coincidence. Right, that's all for now. Till next time.